Tonight, a man is in custody following a fatal shooting outside a remote bungalow near Consett in County Durham. A senior council officer was shot dead, a police officer and a BBC television reporter were injured when they were confronted by a man wielding a gun. The man who died was 46-year-old Harry Collinson, the principal planning officer for Derwentsside. He was photographed by the press just minutes before the shooting. The two injured men, BBC reporter Tony Belmont and PC Stephen Campbell, underwent operations this afternoon and are both recovering.
The incident followed a long-running row over a bungalow built without planning permission. Following the siege, which lasted 2 hours, a man was arrested after a struggle with armed police.
The drama continued into the afternoon amid fears that the bungalow at the centre of the dispute had been booby-trapped, and explosive experts were called in. We have 3 reports coming up.
It was just after 9 o'clock when council officials arrived at the bungalow just off the A68 at Buttsfield to enforce a demolition order. It had been built without planning permission. Teams from the media were there to cover the latest development in a long-running row. Unarmed police officers were also there. There was a confrontation and shots rang out. Harry Collinson, Derwentsside Council's planning chief, fell into a ditch and was later found dead. A 22-year-old policeman, Stephen Campbell, was shot in the lower back, and a BBC television reporter, Tony Belmont, was hit in the arm. They were both rushed to Shotley Bridge Hospital, but weren't seriously hurt.
The councillor fell into the ditch, and obviously we started to run. Our reporter's been shot in the arm, and I think he's probably broken both his bones. And one of the policemen's been shot in the back near the base of the spine. Both of those two are okay.
A man said to be 51-year-old Albert Dryden was seen in a caravan adjoining the bungalow. Friends at the scene came over to help police with their delicate negotiations to try to bring an end to what was becoming a siege. It's now 2 hours since the first shots rang out. Albert Dryden has locked himself away in a caravan next to the bungalow. The caravan is surrounded by armed police. Extra police reinforcements, including marksmen, were drafted in to tighten the ring around the caravan. Then officers were seen to rush in and overcome a man. There was a brief struggle, and then he was led away.
He did not give himself up. He was arrested.
Were firearms used at that point?
Firearms officers were used and have been for some considerable time this morning. I think we've handled the spontaneous incident in a very efficient manner. Unfortunately, there's been tragic results from what originally did not seem to be a serious incident. Once the incident did occur, we dealt with it as well as we could have under the circumstances.
The body of Mr. Harry Collinson was still at the scene when leaders of Derwentsside Council arrived to pay tribute to their officer.
As far as Harry's concerned, I'm deeply shocked, and I'm sure the rest of the members of the council and the officers also, when they hear the sad news this morning, will be equally shocked.
A man with a coat over his head was hurriedly driven away by police, but the drama at the bungalow at Buttsfield was to continue.
Throughout the morning, reporters from press and television had been asking Durham police if they could get closer to the house to take pictures of the scene of the tragedy. It was early this afternoon that the Detective Chief Superintendent in charge of inquiries came forward and revealed the next startling development.
It's unsafe to approach the buildings in the surrounding area at the moment, we think.
You haven't found
so
any
rather than
weapon?
take any chances...
Was it some sort of booby trap or something?
I'm not prepared to say.
Is that what it is, though?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Is that what you suspect, then?
I suspect that it's very unsafe to go in there at this stage, and I'm not prepared to risk any officer or any member of the public to get anywhere near that place until we're happy that it's safe to do so.
Who are you calling in to clear it, then?
We're trying to get in touch with the Army at the moment.
A bomb disposal squad of the Royal Army Ordnance Corps arrived from Catterick Garrison, but there were more delays. The body was still lying in the same position after the shooting, and police were concerned in case their presence near the body triggered off some sort of device. Eventually, the victim's body was seen by a Home Office pathologist and was then taken to Shotley Bridge Hospital for a post-mortem examination, more than 6 hours after the shooting. A handgun was also found and taken away for forensic tests.
Of the Army here, as you can see, the Royal Engineers are coming, as well as the people that are here present, and eventually we'll be doing a full-scale search of all the premises in the surrounding area.
What's the role of the engineers going to be? That's a bit unusual, isn't it?
Well, the engineers is very skilled in searching, more skilled than the people that we have here at the moment. The people we have here at the moment are explosive experts. The engineers are better at searching.
What kind of things will they be looking for?
I'm not prepared to say at the moment.
The Royal Engineers have to fly to the northeast from Kent, and as police moved in a mobile canteen, all the signs were that the investigation will last well into the night.
That report from Kevin Roundtree. The small holding at the centre of today's incident has been the subject of a long-running planning row. It involved a bungalow built on the site which Derwentside Council said didn't have planning permission. Today, the council had intended to try to enforce the decision to knock the bungalow down.
The bungalow was built 10 feet below the ground by 51-year-old Albert Dryden. The former concert steelworker had put his redundancy money into the small holding and had built it himself.
Well, it's important to us because, I mean, I'm 50-year-old and I have nowhere else to put my time in. And my mother, I don't think my mother has much time left to live, like she's 84, you know.
And you've put all your money into it?
I've put all my money into it and I've nothing left. And I've had to send money to the Secretary of State and different things and phone calls, and it's cost us a tremendous amount of money. And I'm causing nobody any harm. Oh, they're not going to demolish it. There's nobody will come in here. I'll fight force with force.
The case exhausted local planning appeals and went to a public inquiry, which ruled in favour of the council. Earlier this week, Harry Collinson, the planning officer who died, contacted the media to say that he intended to enforce that ruling today. Mr. Dryden had told neighbours he wanted more time to fight the decision.
He's a determined man. And I mean, this has gone on for what, 5 years? 6 years now this has gone on. I mean, it would be no harm to the council to wait another 6 weeks. That's all it was, 6 weeks. I don't know, I didn't see it.